And Alireza gets it done. Hikaru's going to want to shake that first game off. That's a very common thing that happens in these matches. You want to just get going into the second one.
Yeah, and luckily there is no pause. They're straight back in. And here we see a transposition to a Catalan opening. Very trendy one, but noticeably Hikaru gets the queens off. He wants to play without too much risk. This is a very trendy variation. Also quite a historic one, where white often brings the knight into the center and uses this Catalan bishop to try and apply some pressure on the diagonal. But he's not playing for huge advantages here, just a little something.
No, certainly not. And I've seen Nihal Sarin also play this with the white pieces. He likes to get those positions that he can very slowly work on. Not a position where Alireza's strengths are portrayed, but that's generally chess now with the black pieces. You take what you get. Never mind, he goes for a dynamic solution. F5, leaving the backwards pawn on E6, but stopping white from advancing in the center of the board. And now Hikaru's going to really have to decide, like, do I try to build this up with my F-pawn? Hey, that was a really convincing, first game from Firouzja.
Yeah, it was just one or two moments where he almost let Hikaru back in, but it always looked like he was in the driver's seat. Even when he dropped lower on the clock, it felt like Alireza never panicked fully. While for Hikaru making moves with barely a second left, that was incredible to see. Just a glimpse into the future there.
There's a player in the NBA, I think his nickname is Time Lord, might be Grant Williams, right? And I think Hikaru now fittingly has that nickname as well. I don't know how that happened. There were milli microseconds there, and he's gone into a much longer thing than milliseconds here, trying to understand this move F5. It leaves a big square on E5 you can exploit, but not really clear with which piece. And then do you prepare an advancement in the center? Do you simply bring your rook? He's trying to solve this position. This time control, David, gives you a lot of luxuries to think this much, but at some point he's got to start moving a little faster.
Exactly. Still very early days, of course, but Hikaru has been the slower of the two in the early stages. This is still well-known opening theory. According to our databases here, the most popular move is for the white knight to go to A5, just to tickle the black queen side a bit. If you don't know it, though, it's hard to find. It's maybe not the most natural.
Yes, and the idea of that move is you don't let the light-squared bishop move. If the bishop moved, you would take the pawn. If the pawn moves to attack your knight, you jump further into the position, but you also reroute backwards to the weakened central square. So in many ways, when you tell me it, I can explain it to people, right? But if you don't know that move, it's not so clear. Hikaru is now under 3 minutes on the clock, by the way.
Yeah, confident Hikaru would make any move. Not necessarily knight a5, he'd make any move within 10, 20 seconds. But I think still finding his groove here. He plays pawn to f3, very much all in now on this idea of expanding in the center. Kicking away the black knight, I think, is maybe the more pressing issue there. Not too many tempting squares for the knight to retreat to.
And so now does black commit to f4, or is that too much?
It has been played before, Levy. Pawn to f4 is on the database. The alternative is to just continue, as he otherwise would have done. Pawn to b6, and when the pawn steps forward, just to move the knight, and later develop the black bishop out. But okay, your move, more dynamic, more Alireza style.
Yeah, certainly more Alireza style, but wow, Hikaru giving away the bishop pair and using this pawn structure. Black in the long run will have a huge weakness in the center of the board, that e6 pawn, and white on the next move, I would like to think, would play f3 to f4, right? Exactly.
Yeah, almost definitely making up for the lack of his dark squared bishop, for the one he's just traded off, by planting pawns and trying to control the dark squares. And it's all about that Catalan pressure on the diagonal, keeping the bad bishop at home. Yeah, big commitment, long term. Black is doing quite well, but yeah, maybe the next few moves, it's going to be some difficult questions for Alireza.
I feel like the Norwegian who was just here would love this position with white. Like, he would really find a way to just absolutely torture you. I mean, the rook is going to the 7th rank, the e6 pawn, the b7 pawn, the knight is about to jump in. I was wondering why Hikaru didn't go for f4, and now he might never get to go f4.
Yeah, I think he was fearing this move anyway.
Yeah.
Pawn to g5, just the immediate tension, trading off pawns. But as you say, the white bishop is not happy about what's just happened. You mentioned Magnus. I think he would win this position with white. And with black.
I see. Against either player. No, we're not throwing anybody under the bus. But I wonder with white if you can walk your king to e2 and then move your bishop to h3. Like, that's the configuration that I really like. You target the pawn like that. Your king protects the center pawn. But I don't know if you have the time. I like knight a5 as well, though. Yeah,
it's the idea you mentioned. Partly pressure on b7, partly just rerouting into the center. Nice outpost, and okay, tricky move from Alireza, gaining a bit of time.
Maybe Hikaru won't see it.
He's asking the rook to step forward onto some, yeah, slightly unideal squares there. This would walk into a double attack, of course, but I think he just wants to cover the 7th rank with gain of tempo.
Right, and since you can't counter him on the very next move, he might play a rook b8 or something like that. But actually, I don't know what black's next move is after rook c2.
Yeah, maybe he can get tricky, try to bring his other bishop out now with some skewers.
Oh, that is it. That is it. Just completely leaving that pawn there. You read Alireza's mind, and the position not looking particularly pleasant after bishop d7. Wow, but now he brings the rook to trade it. But he's just going to lose the pawn in the long run, maybe.
Yeah, big moment. Apparently he has to find this, otherwise he's significantly worse now, Alireza. How likely do you think it is?
I think it's quite likely. And there it is. I'm not sure. Back against the wall, he finds the move, and the position is back to equal dynamically. White is going to really struggle to get the light squared bishop active.
Exactly. And the longer this game goes on with that bishop asleep, the greater black's chances will become the bishop pair. That's such a weapon in the endgame, and the outside pawn majority, 2 versus 1 on this queen side, that might become a factor later.
Totally playing with other people's pieces here. Can you trade the rooks and play h4, give up the pawn, and then play f4?
Oh, I like it.
Well, I know you like pawns too. Like, you take on h4 and make me prove it, but I really like the position after you get the pawn to f4, even if you're down a pawn.
Maybe we show this just very quickly while Hikaru thinks about what to do next. Rook takes rook is the variation we're discussing. Levy wants to give up a pawn, and maybe there's a question about whether black takes it. Maybe he just maintains the structure, but I do like this transition. This is a beautiful little trio here, and the white bishop is back alive. Yes, black has a pawn up, but doubled h1s don't make a great impression. I think this is a fantastic option here for Hikaru.
Only problem is Alireza doesn't have to do this at all. Not checkers, not draft. You can just play h4, h6, and white is never getting the bishop out. In fact, I almost feel he will play it.
Yeah, exactly. At least then you give black an isolated g-pawn maybe, and Hikaru just needs to speed up. What's he doing? He's under 1 minute. Alireza has almost 3. This is reckless.
This is how I play this format, by the way, which is a very bad sign. But I remember I've played in those various speeches championships, and the 5+1, you just feel you have so much time. You don't want to make a move, you're overthinking. Before you know it, you're in a scramble. You've equalized the game, but you don't have any more time. So 30 seconds is bananas.
It really is. And Hikaru, he's like the king of 3-minute chess. He likes playing without increment, ideally, but Tidal Tuesdays nowadays, they're up to 5 minutes, and his results haven't matched. Look at him. He's reacting. He just can't find a move. He's frozen. Are there tech issues? It must be a tech issue.
Oh.
Oh, no!
Something's happened.
Not tonight.
I just lost 20 seconds because it disconnected me. Like, do I get 20 seconds more, or what's the plan? I lost 20 seconds because it disconnected me.
Okay.
It disconnected me.
Wow.
I mean,
That is live.
I got disconnected and lost 25 seconds there.
Okay. We're gonna check it.
Like, it's back now, but I lost 25 seconds.
Didn't do anything.
We will be able to rewind it.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Controversy in the arena. What to do in this situation? There's a tricky decision to be made for the Arbiter.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, we just have a way to add the time back in the middle of the game, but I'm not sure Alireza knows what happened.
Give him back.
Oh.
Continue, okay?
Okay, we're getting a lowdown. Alireza's giving some time back. I'm not sure whether the Arbiters will step in, amend the clocks.
I get back also? Did I get back?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, drama early in the match.
But giving back time is not the same as having it on your clock.
Exactly, especially when you've got over 2 minutes, the opponent has 10 seconds. Give this position to Hikaru with 10 seconds against 2, it's going to be tough defense.
Yes, absolutely. It's absolutely not the same, you know? I wish they can just...
Agree a draw, move on? What do you think?
Actually, a grid draw would be okay because it's relatively equal. It would be much worse if the position was in somebody's favor. It was also a very interesting position. I wish we get to see it played out.
Okay, I think we're awaiting a decision. Neither player looks ready to move.
Oh, we've just received word they will be adding the time back via the magic of technology.
Okay. Some quick work from our tech team here. We see the clocks, yeah. The black clock's still ticking, but of course we will revert back to the oceans of time that Alireza had relatively here.
Yes, for sure he will not be restarting with 1 minute on the clock. What's interesting, David, is they've had about 2-3 minutes to think about the position.
Yeah.
For these guys, that's an ocean of time. Absolute, eternity.
Yeah.
And there we go. We're off.
Here we go. Applause in the audience.
Yes, applause in the audience. That was great, by the way. Listen, live chess on these computers, esports style, that was about as quick of a tech fix as we could ask for.
Exactly, and good sportsmanship. Alireza didn't make a fuss, and we're back in the game. He's now trying to calculate what to do next. The bishop hit, and he will be retreating it to likely one of these 2 squares. And, okay, what to do next? He's going to be looking at what Hikaru might be threatening down the line. Will he be sliding his rook across to hit the bishop? No, Hikaru does play this f4 move we talked about. Controversial, but he's now trying to take this pawn with gain of tempo. And he will be hitting the bishop if his knight ever lands on the square.
That's a gnarly move. Now, will he take immediately on b7? And with what? Is he just looking for like a liquidation, like knight b7, rook b7? That could be...
Could be. Try to bail out, get everything off opposite color bishops. Pawn down, who cares? Should still be a draw. But maybe even taking with the bishop would work, because he does gain time against black's bishop. The knight will gain time against the other one.
Yeah,
Crazy move.
I always miss moves like pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, rook g7 check. Like, and then that move in my games is always losing. You know, it's just a really random move. Maybe it's completely fine here, but I would be concerned. The big question is Hikaru still trying to press for anything, or is he satisfied with a draw?
I think Hikaru would love a draw here. I think just the clock situation, the fact he's playing against the bishop pair. I'm not sure he would have found f4, you know, if the time situation hadn't happened there. If he was still in the thick of things, if he still had to move instantly. He had that 2-3 minutes, like you said, to try and work things out. f4 now on the board, and clock's dropping. Alireza down to almost the 1 minute mark. Okay, it is your move there, knight takes b7. This is more pragmatic. He does gain time. He wants the rooks off, and he just wants to make this draw.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to take with the rook here. That hits the rook on f7. Black at the end of this sequence will be up a pawn, but it's not a position you will ever win.
Exactly. Easily blockaded as well. We'll see that play out. The rooks will surely leave the board. Reckless to keep them on now. Nothing much to think about. And maybe Hikaru will save the h-pawn and then just walk his king into the center.
Now, does Alireza... Oh!
It's happened again.
Hikaru's disconnected one more time.
I mean, if my time's running, I'm disconnected again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I played rook f7. I played rook takes f7.
I think it would be fair to declare a draw here.
Played rook f7.
Alireza has won on time, at least according to what we see.
I mean,
No, but of course this will not be a win for black.
I think at this point, declare the draw.
I played
Move
rook
on to
takes
the next one.
f7. I mean, you have a screen capture.
Yes, absolutely. We capturing your screen. We can go back. So we are talking against what's happening. I don't have any answers, unfortunately, right now. So as soon as I get answers, I'll let you know. Guys, can we abort this game? Okay.
Yeah, can we just call it a draw and keep going?
Actually, I think there might be technical difficulties adding a result that didn't happen as opposed to just canceling a game.
Yeah, we should make sure he doesn't get
Yes,
this.
yes. So this game is aborted, and we're not going to continue until it's fixed. Okay.
We could make the game draw. We could make the game draw. The game
So
that.
the previous game, you're okay with the draw?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm fine with the draw.
Good sportsmanship, but also logical outcomes.
Yes.
Just for everyone at home, the position was dead drawn at the end there, if the rooks had come off as Hikaru planned.
What happened between the first match and this match? Were there technical difficulties in the first match?
We've let some hackers in the building.
yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Don't say that, David. Don't say that.
Any landlocked in the local network?
Yeah, it's just hopefully just a quick reboot for everyone at home. Slight smile on Hikaru's face.
I'll get up. Yeah, go ahead.
Who do you think this kind of disruption is going to favor? Hikaru does look a bit flustered. Alireza just looks pretty chilled right now.
I think they're both professionals. I mean, it could fluster maybe, but then tanked and anything could happen. But we do see the players back in. They are loading in the first set of earbuds, followed by the second over-the-ear headphones, construction style, as if they were drilling on the street. You really cannot hear anything. Hopefully, they do not want to hear us. And whatever happened in that game, whether it was annulled completely or they got the half a point, it really only matters, David, I think, for like prize money, ultimately. But Alireza has a one-game lead.
Exactly. One game, maybe he'll regret it wasn't more. He did have a time advantage at least when there were some disturbances earlier. But for Hikaru, he can settle back in, try to get his first win of the match. And we're just waiting now for game 3 to begin. Both players looking calm again.
That means, by the way, that we go back to the colors of game 1, because it actually does matter. Like, if game 2 technically was never played, then that means that Hikaru will now get another game with white. If it was counted as a draw, then Alireza will get another game with white, which is a huge deal. Because that game kind of felt like a throwaway game at that point.